What's up, y'all? Hey, do me a favor. Imagine this, if you will. Imagine time coming through, right? Imagine time coming through, and it's trying to introduce itself to you. You all can see the time. You all see time. You see, because you're on that schedule. You see, and if you're not on the schedule, you're gonna see time. You know, time's gonna call you by your name. You're gonna wonder what time it is. You see, because you're preparing for the next day. You're preparing for the future. You see, I'm just talking to you. I'm just trying to see something.
Let me tell you my secret.
Imagine time coming through. You see, imagine time being a body. Let's just say a being that looks like you, and you're around it, and he's in the world. You see, time is, he's in the world. You see, T-I-M-E. You see, always remember that M-E is a 13 and a 5. You see, they read sun. So you see, then that T and I, that's a 29. You see, he's saying time me. When time comes, you see, how are you going to receive it? Or will you receive it? Because it's not going to be exactly how you're reading it in your book, in your texts, you see, or in your books, you see, or on your videos. It might not be like that. It might be real live stuff, you know what I'm saying? You know, he defecates, he pisses, you see, he goes through things, you know, and if he hit himself in the shin, he's gonna say, ouch. You see, this type of living being, you would never experience these things inside of a book. You see, there's no human connection. There's just literature, you see, or litter that's congesting your mind, so you won't be able to see time, you see, or acknowledge time, or know that time actually exists, you see. But just imagine if time comes and he's not like what you read in your book. You see, just imagine somebody creating a story about some brother down the block. You see, and then you had all the great minds and all the storytellers and all the poets and all these other type of great writers writing the story about the brother down the block. Now you have people who actually bear witness to this, you see, so they just hear this information for a minute, you see, until the brother down the block kind of died off, you see, and everybody else is probably in slavery or going through some shit. You don't say it because of the government, you see, but they released this body and they call it a special being. And so when they said this being, this special being, when they called it, or when they wrote about it, everybody's believing it. They have theatrics for it. They have cartoons for it. They have, stage plays, you know, movies, all these type of things, getting it up in your subconscious and stuff. You see, you love it. You love something that you have no idea what it is. Can you imagine loving something and it looked like you? You see, imagine, what if those that don't look like you saying that how much they love this time, you see, this time me, you see, what if all these people are talking about what this spirit is, and when it presents itself, it makes them feel the hate that's inside of them, or the disgust, or the disappointment, all these things, all these abominations that they didn't push out from generations to generations, you see. Now all the apexes that's living today, You see, can you imagine what time would feel as a living being amongst you people? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine all the happy smiles and all the beautiful things that you're talking about, when it comes to this time? You see, this body called time. Can you imagine how you will react to this being? You see, it's like you will hurt him or try to kill him. You will try to kill time, not because, well, you will have to do that if you know for a fact that something is true. See, you will have to know that it's true or not. And the truth is inside of a delusion. You see, the truth is inside of diversions. You see, the truth can stand right in front of you. You see, the truth can come through all mediums of life, you see, and be right there in your midst. And you would deny it, or try to kill it, or try to arrest it because it's probably in the wrong area of society or some shit. I mean, it's so amazing to actually see how people are just, they literally curse themselves. Time comes with a multitude. Time comes with dimensions. You see, time comes with so many things, you see, that can actually help you and help your people. But time don't exist to the scientific world. Can you imagine somebody who's on a schedule talking about time don't exist? Can you just listen to the hypocrites when they talk? Just listen to how they talk. Listen to how they talk. I wouldn't even utter those words, and I know I'm inside of time. You see? No, I'm inside of time. You see, even in your stock markets, you watch those numbers. You see, you watch those numbers. I'm just trying to say to you, there's a way to where you can actually see what's developing in your midst. I'm gonna tell you what you can do. You see, you can just ask whom you say you love, even if it's the rotten God or the righteous God. You could ask them because they won't lie to you. You see, Satan does things to you so you can lie to yourself. You see, lie to yourself, and then he comes around and judge it. You see, he's making his money. You see, he's trying to get some points. But you can actually talk to that one body, you see, that's above and the one that's below. You can talk to that body and ask and say to it, where, and say the name, is this being? I know it's here. Where would he be? Or can you show it to me so I won't be surprised when I see it? Maybe he's going through something. Maybe he's a wealthy being. You see, show me. Can you imagine? But if you don't believe nothing like that can exist, you see. And it's a trip though, because it should exist with people that look like you. It should exist because whatever he has, whatever time has to survive down here, you have the same thing, if not greater. But one thing you don't have is the keys to walk through some of these doors. You see, and that's the only thing that he's trying to give to you. You see, so you could walk through these doors and bypass the beings that you're up under. You see, that's what he's coming for. He's coming to give you the keys. You see, all the entities that he came with already out here working, doing their thing. People call them witches, demons, devils, all. He got all of them. All of them working for it. You know, just imagine, and the being came down here for you, and he's here to give you all these keys, and you don't want them. And you don't want them. You actually say it. You see, it's not, and it's those that say these things, that it don't exist, it'll never exist, it didn't exist back then, you see, or what they say. I ain't gonna get into that. You know, you're gonna have to use your own mind. But anyway, but then there are those who, you see, who use Gnostic understanding. You see, or they'll put it in some type of ultimate realities. You see, can you imagine teaching somebody something about what is, and they saying all these things, and then the person is just sitting right there in the audience just listening to you? Can you imagine that? How come people don't think that way? Why y'all don't think that way? I mean, I don't understand it. How come no one thinks that way? You see? You all see. Y'all can see it. But for some reason, he's just listening to your death that you called enlightenment. You literally killing yourself. You see? With all this so-called knowledge and wisdom and things, you killing yourself up under this government. You killing yourself. They did this to you. You see? And you should know it. You see? But you don't know it. You're in a whole different space. You're in a whole different space. You see? You know what the order was? For the eyes to see who his people are? It's to build. You know, to build for the homeless, to build for the needy, to build, you know, structures and all this other type of shit. Everybody is inside of perversion. They're all inside of the minds and the souls and the spirit. The thing that Hezekiah, you see, uses. They're in there with them. They use the big words and all these other type things. You see? And none of the children are seeing these motherfuckers build structures, laying concrete. You see, only a few. And they're so small that you can't see them. You see? Only on you'll see them on YouTube and shit like that, you see? But I'm talking about in the real world. You see, in the real world, you see, like when I go outside and shit, I'm seeing all these Mexicans down in the hood and shit, building all these, renovating all these houses and shit. But then you get all these young niggas going out here looking for somebody to kill, or steal their bike and shit. You see what I'm saying? You know, and he cussing out the elders because the elders, you know what I'm saying? It's amazing. It's amazing. You see? It's amazing. All things are right in front of you. All eyes see. You see? So you ain't gonna have no excuses. You're not gonna have no excuses.